Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening, guys. Celtic Warband here, and thanks for tuning in to another Third Age Reforged battle on the channel today. I don't normally upload Third Age content very often, just because I don't really play it that often myself, but whenever subscribers do send me battles, I do try to upload them. And this one was submitted by Son of Celebrimbor, so thank you very much. He did send it to me quite a few weeks ago, but I've just been trying to catch up with my tournament. But now that that's over, I will be able to upload this. And Emerald Mindstar, I believe, did send me a Third Age Reforged battle as well, so I will try to get to that by the end of the week. So without further ado, let's go ahead and take a look at the army comps. The first army we're going to take a look at in today's battle is Cardolan, and this is commanded by Son of Celebrimbor, and it's one of the factions that came about after the fall of the Kingdom of Arnor, so you will see some Arnor-type units in the roster. But Son of Celebrimbor in the front lines, he's got 3 units of these Minas Tirith sharpshooters, so it looks like a crossbow unit with heavy armor, and then he also has 2 units of Dunedain rangers for that extra range. Right in behind, he has 3 units of the Minas Tirith Spearmen. And then he has 4 units of the Greenwatch Garrison Footmen. And these guys do look pretty cool. Nice pike units, so he's got 4 units of them. And in the center over here, he has a unit of Wardens of Tirin Gothad, or Gorthad. I hope I pronounced that properly. But these guys very heavily upgraded, and they do look to be like Arnor Knights. So very, very cool there. Must be an expensive unit because he's only brought 1 of them. And then back in the next line, he has a couple units of Dunedain captains here. And very small unit, only 33 men, so I'd imagine that they're more of an elite unit. And then he's also brought, oh, we've already seen them. He's also brought a ballista. And then he's brought a few units of Greenwatch Garrison Spearmen. These guys do look pretty cool as well. I really like them. And he also has 2 units of Minas Tirith swordsmen. So 2 units of them to go with the spears. And then he has a unit of Dunedain commanders, and with the commander right there. So that is it for Son of Celebrimbor's army, so let's go ahead and take a look at the next one. The next army on the battlefield today is the Arthedain, and this one is commanded by Arvos Crusader. And this is another faction that was brought about by the fall of Arnor, but these guys do look pretty close to exactly like the Kingdom of Arnor's units. And he's also brought a lot of pikes. He's got 4 units of the Arthedain pikemen. And then he's got more of an elite unit here. These guys look insane. I love the way these guys look. The Numenos Gate Guards. So he's got 1 unit of them. Over here, he's got 1 unit of Fornorst Arrain Defenders. Again, I hope I am pronouncing these correctly. He's also got 2 units of Arthedain Marksmen, right in the front lines there. And way over here in the trees, he's got 1 unit of the Dismounted Knights of Numenos. Again, only 33 in the unit, so they must be very elite. They do look very heavily armored, so I'd imagine they will get a decent amount of kills. And the last unit over here, of course, is the Knights of Numenos. And the general way at the back here with his red cape, ready to defend this outpost siege. So yeah, I didn't mention this before, guys, but it is an outpost defense, and we've just looked at the 2 defenders. So I've just got it paused because it's easier when they first load in to look at all the units before they're moved in around different strategic areas on the battlefield. But next we are going to look at the attackers, who are hopefully going to be able to take the outpost from the Knights of Arthedain and Cardolan. So let's go ahead and take a look at them. The first attacking army on the battlefield today is the Dwarves of Khazad-dûm, and this one is commanded by Dragonlord, and a pretty substantial force here that we've got lined up ready to attack the outpost. Looking right from the front lines, he has 4 units of Warriors of Khazad-dûm. So he's got 2 here and then 2 in loose formation right in behind. He's also got 2 units of Khazad-dûm Reclaimers, so they are dual-wielding axes, it looks like, with a 3rd axe on their backs. So I'd imagine that these 2 may be throwing axes or just light melee axes, and then they've got a 2-handed axe that they can use once they get into melee. Over on this flank, you can see they have a catapult, And they've also got a unit of Legion Bodyguard. These guys look really cool. Very nice. Not sure if this is the general. He does look pretty flashy. This may actually be the general over here, the Legion Bodyguard. And then right in behind, we've got 2 units of Sons of the Fallen, which are spears. And then we have 2 units of First Legion, which are pikemen. In behind there, we've got some more spearmen. We've got the 4th Legion with the Mithril Guard. And then we have some mercenary cavalry over here, light cavalry. So it's kind of good that the dwarves do have some better cavalry other than the war goats in this new standalone update. So hopefully they will make the dwarves a little more versatile. But I think that's kind of the point with the dwarves anyways, is that they have such heavy infantry that they really shouldn't need cavalry at all. Even if the infantry does get charged from behind, I notice that the dwarves can pretty much fight surrounded for quite some time. So that's it for the dwarves army. So let's go ahead and take a look at the second but final attacker. The final attacking force and teaming up with the Dwarves of Khazad-dûm is the Orcs of Gundabad, and this one is commanded by Bacon Lord 242, and he's got his army kind of spread out a little bit, so we'll just run along the line so you can take a look at it. He does have a ballista over here, first off. Then he's got some Guardians of Cairndûm. Looks like a few units of them, 3. And then he's got some Gundabad Guard. These guys look really cool. Almost Orokai-shaped shields. So it looks like he has 2 units of them. Then he has some Blackwatch Legion. And I like these guys, how they have little skulls that are part of their armor, part of their uniform. That's really cool. So yeah, a few units of Blackwatch Legion. Then he's got a unit of Witch Realm Blackguard. And this is, again, a 33-man unit, so must be one of the elite ones. I'm sure it's very expensive. And then he's got some trolls over here. He's got mountain trolls. Looks like possibly... Oh, no, he's got mounted trolls, heavy trolls of Gundabad, my apologies, 6, and then he has mounted trolls 13. Because, yeah, I thought there were 2 units here, but you can see that these trolls are much more heavily armored than the mountain trolls. And then he's got a small force over here that will be running across the bridge. Less elite in the front lines, some Witch Realm Scourge Raiders. And they're kind of just dual-wielding swords and axes. But then this unit back here, the Witchers of Angmar, probably a very elite unit. I think I have seen these guys in Melee before, and they are insane. So only a unit of 8, which makes sense, because I think if these do represent the 9, that would make sense that there's 8 of them. Don't know where the 9th is, though. He's probably a separate unit that you can bring, the Witch King of Angmar. But yes, very, very cool. So that is it for the 4 armies. So we've got 2 defending and 2 attacking. And without further ado, let's take a look at the battle. Alright guys, welcome to the battle, and that is terrifying to have these massive bolts fired from the Orcs of Gundabad into the defenders. You can see that they are firing at the archers up top as well, and they are mostly focusing this defense in the center here, which is a bit of a problem for the defenders. Look at that, getting some nice hits on this thick pike wall here. It looks like Son of Celebrimbor does have his artillery over here to try and focus down the enemy artillery, but it looks like they're doing quite a good job of getting rid of it. Oh my goodness, a massive hit there. Killing a ton of men. Now this is a huge problem for the defenders because they are outnumbered. It looks pretty even as far as the kills have gone, with 4% of the enemies and 5% of the armies gone. Oh, huge friendly fire, though, there on the warriors of Khazad-dûm, and they are already shaken from that. But yeah, some big hits here. So they are focusing down over on this side. I kind of want to see what else is going on. That was a miss. But as far as the outpost itself, these walls are indestructible, so that does afford them a little bit of respite in the fact that the defenders can just hold these very small choke points. However, there are 4 ways to get in. There is the one we've seen there, And then way over on this side, we've got one over here as well. We've got one in the far back over here. And then, apologies for the camera, this is Medieval 2 camera angles, but we've also got a fourth one over to this side. And I did cut out, like I said, a bit of the moving around. However, you can see the Knights of Numinos are over here, causing a bit of trouble for the mercenary cavalry. Now, the mercenary cavalry did initially charge out and get the Cardolan ballista. That was why only 2 were present in the start of the battle. But yeah, the Knights of Numinos over here really causing some issues for the attackers. They've also got their snag of stalkers over here trying to run down the Knights of Numinos, but these are very elite cavalry. The mercenary cavalry down to 6 men over here. Looks like Khazad-dûm Reclaimers missile troops down to 11 and 49. So there was a bit of a battle over here, but it was mostly skirmish. You could see we've got the Minas Tirith archers over here that were focusing them down, but now we've got the warriors of Khazad-dûm coming over here. So some good melee infantry to push in through. Looks like they are not pushing over here, the attackers, which is a smart idea. It's been shown that the ballista for the Orcs of Gundabad has done quite a bit of damage, so I think they are just waiting to see if they can soften up the defenders a little bit more. It looks like a lot of the Forest Aaron defenders and the Arthedain pikemen have moved to this side out of sight of the ballista over there. But unfortunately, this ballista only down to 1 here. And where is it firing? Is it trying to focus? Yeah, I think it's trying to go for this ballista, but it just doesn't have that good of an angle. And we've got the Goblin Trackers over here, who I think I missed in the army comps, so my apologies. It looks like they do have some archers. Now, the Goblin Trackers are going to be firing up over onto this hilltop against the Dunedain Rangers. This is probably going to favor the defenders in the fact that they do have the high ground, and a lot of their missiles will probably be hitting the wall. So, plus the fact that these are just orc archers. They're probably no match for the Dunedain Rangers and oh yeah, it's just all Dunedain Rangers, but over on this flank is where all of the crossbows are, the Minas Tirith archers. Now, if we take a look over here, I'm not sure if no, the Knights of Numinos still holding strong at 11 men, and they are warmed up. And I'm not sure if they're going after the Khazad-dûm Reclaimers over here. It looks like they are not aware or are trying to fire down onto the Knights of Numinos. Oh, but they are a Javelin infantry, I see. See, that's the thing. I don't really play this that often, so I don't really know what the units do or how good they fight on the battlefield. I have some idea, but in the new standalone update, I know that a lot of new units were added. So actually, it doesn't look like they're Javelin infantry. Yes, it looks like they are using their small axes to throw into the Knights of Numinos. And I think they have to be careful, the defenders here, because if I'm not mistaken, this is the Arthedain General. So yeah, it looks like he is going to try and get back inside the city. But over here, Warriors of Khazad-dûm moving in. I'm not sure if these crossbows are firing at all, but it looks like these Warriors of Khazad-dûm are moving right along the wall, and that is a very smart move. What he's doing is he's trying to stay out of range of these archers, and what's happening is that they don't have a good angle to fire down. If he did try to fire on this unit, most of the arrows would just hit the wall and not actually damage the Warriors of Khazad-dûm. So well done, good battlefield awareness there. These Snaga Stalkers are very tired because they've been running around. However, they're pretty garbage, so I'm not really concerned about them. It's mostly the Dwarven units over here that are going to be difficult. First Legion as well, the pike units, going to cause a bit of trouble. But look at this, the Ballista moving into a better position to be able to fire down onto the ranks of the Forest Aaron defenders. Let's see if they're gonna get any hits. Now, these two missed. That third one missing as well, and big mistake actually by the defenders in moving over here with this Ballista, because you can see they are actually in range of the Dunedain Rangers, and this is the general over here, you can see. So he's already bloodied up, so both the defenders and the attackers being very risky with their generals early on in this fight. But here we go. It looks like we're going to have an all-out charge here. We've got the mounted trolls moving in with their really good armor, and yeah, they're just going to shred right through this unit of Greenwatch Garrison footmen. We've got the other trolls moving in as well. The good thing for the defenders, though, is with all of these trolls here, I would be trying to focus them down with my archers that are up on the walls, get a nice arc fire over on top of them. But it looks like that was just the initial shock charge because they're followed up by the Witch Realm Scourge Raiders, or Scourge Raiders. And we've got Goblin Band coming in as well. So this is officially, it looks like, where the battle does begin. Now, I don't know how good the pikemen would do against the trolls. From what I understand it, these trolls kind of act like a cavalry unit more than an infantry unit. So I'd imagine that the pikemen are doing quite a bit of damage to them. As you can see, a lot of the trolls are pretty bloody at this point in the battle, but these Greenwatch Garrison footmen just getting slaughtered. We've got the ballista right here at point-blank range as well. I'm not sure if it's firing onto the trolls or not. I'm kind of interested to see if they're going to get some good shots. But yeah, there we go. Yep, Dunedain Rangers setting up over here. It looks like we've got some more missile troops over here. The Dunedain Troll Slayers, how perfect is that? So yeah, the trolls really dropping here. We've got more pikemen coming into the mix as well to kind of block up this center because the center is completely open at this point. I'm just going to move to the other side and make sure nothing else is happening. No, it looks like that's pretty calm over there. How are we looking over here? Nothing yet. And what's going on over here? It looks like we've got the Numenos Gate Guard and the Dismounted Knights of Numenos retreating. So I'm not sure if they're just going to fall back to a more strategic location there. But I think that they are a little bit concerned about how much is being pushed into the center. And it looks like this is where most of the fighting is, so I think we'll just spend a little bit of time here for now and give you guys a lot of good zoom-ins. Yeah, throwing in both units of trolls so early, I can see that the initial shock charge was good, but these are two very valuable units that are going to be used up very early on in the battle. You can see it as far as the frames in the top left corner, where we're just about halfway through this battle. But as far as the percentage killed allies, 19% killed enemies, 15%. So the enemies are doing actually better. And here, look at this. We've actually got them pulling through the trolls and getting into the Minas Tirith swordsmen. A couple of units there. So really a bit of trouble holding this flank over here. However, the Troll Slayers do seem to be cutting down the numbers a little bit, which is good. And look at the rest of the army just waiting to come in over here. Very nice. And what is this? Do we actually have the Witchers of Angmar over here as well? Looks like they're not engaged in melee right now, but they are probably, if this is the General's unit, they're probably providing a morale buff to all of the units inside this little choke point fighting. However, it looks like the Archers focusing them down, so trying to weaken them down before they actually do make it into melee. Now, are the Dwarves moving in? Yes, it looks like they have moved in over here. But we've got a very nice formation here of the Greenwatch Garrison Footmen with the Minas Tirith Spearmen. So, Pike on Spear combo. And the Snaga Stalkers have routed, that is no surprise. We've got these two units of Warriors of Khazad-dûm kind of waiting here, but I would try and push them into melee as early as I can because they've got an excellent position, the defenders, to just fire down onto the Dwarven infantry. There we go, yep, so it looks like they are moving in to engage the Spearmen and the Pike Wall. And I think they're, whoops, sorry, still getting used to the Medieval 2 cam again. It's so different than the Attila or the Rome 2 one. But yeah, it looks like the First Legion pikemen are going to be moving in as well, so that should give them the edge over here. However, the defenders do have the Wardens of Tyrd Gorthad waiting in reserve, as well as the Dunedain captains, so some pretty elite units over on this flank here. Let's take a look at what's going on back here. Got the Knights of Anuminos chilling here, but it actually looks like they've evacuated this section altogether. So if the attackers did realize this or did know about this, they could get some of their units around. But as far as I can tell, they are not moving any units over to that side. They're completely committed to going over here. It looks like the ballista crew did survive with the general. And here we go. It looks like we've got a massive wave of soldiers pushing into this flank over here. It looks like we've actually got some of the Hearthguard of Emon Sul pushing forwards. So yeah, it looks like they were victorious. A lot of the cheaper goblin units have been slaughtered. And now they pushed into this very small choke point, which is very smart. The V for victory is a good idea because it does put pressure on multiple flanks of the enemy. However, this one tiny unit here can hold back the horde of the Orcs of Gundabad for quite some time. So that does allow these pikemen to get a little bit of rest, because a couple of them are very tired from fighting those trolls. However, it looks like the last of the trolls have been slain. We've got some of the Dunedain Rangers coming down as well. I think they are maybe moving forwards to help against the First Legion pikemen. But yeah, really good positioning here by these archers. Oh man, getting some good hits there into the Warriors of Khazad-dûm as they slowly move into melee. Hold, Cardolan, hold. Yeah, fire arrows actually doing a lot of damage to the Warriors of Khazad-dûm there. You can see a couple of them starting to burn as they get hit by the arrows. So it looks like they are holding. How's the balance of power? Wow, so 44% of the enemies killed, but 28% of the allies. Now, granted, that is most of the very cheap, you know, Gundabad units that have been slain. So it's not... doesn't look as bad as that percentage is telling us. However, they have lost their trolls already, and it looks like we've got a massive retreat from this section over here. The Gundabad Guard and the rest of the Guardians of Cairn-Dûm have actually pulled out, which I think in Medieval 2 tactical retreats are an excellent idea, because pulling out of melee really doesn't lose you too many men. However, he's going to have to run these men away due to the fact that they are still being focused down by the Dunedain Rangers. But yes, in Medieval 2 or any of its mods, pulling out of a situation that it doesn't look like you're going to win is always a good idea. However, in Attila games, it's just almost never worth it because you lose half your unit pulling out of the engagement anyways. But yeah, the Orcs of Gundabad Guard here being focused down, which is a little bit of a problem. They did get rid of that ballista. I don't think that crew has enough to man the ballista anymore. Now, they did have a catapult up here, so I'm kind of wondering what happened to that. That was the Dwarves catapult, so actually it may be coming around over to this side. Yes, so the catapult is over here. So I'm not sure if it's going to be set up to try and fire down onto the position. I think this would be a good position right about here by these trees, because I think it's far enough away and also not in a good angle for the Minas Tirithlan archers to fire down on them. However, I think the dwarves are doing quite well. The defenders having to send quite a bit of their infantry over here just to hold against the dwarves. But the dwarves being very conservative, they're not throwing their entire force in at one time. They're just doing it a couple of units at a time. And all of these defending units over here that are engaged in melee, they're all, even though a lot of them aren't actually engaged in melee, they are still taking penalties to their tiredness level, I guess. You can see a lot of these are winded, tired. So maybe too many committed over here against only 2 units of Warriors of Khazad-dûm. I'd maybe pull a few out because we've got the Minas Tirith archers probably used up their ammo, who have moved into melee as well. But you can see they're fighting, even though none of them are actually in the front lines, but they are tired. So let's see what's going on other areas of the battle here. Okay, so it looks like we've got a recommitment over here of the Gundabad Guard coming in. It's taking on the Arthedain pikemen, and I think it's mostly mostly Arthedain troops over here. I don't really see any of Celebrimbor's army. But yeah, I think for the defeat is almost a certainty, so I don't think they're going to be able to break through here. No need to send these in here, though. I would keep the marksmen back and this other unit of pikemen, because I think there's too many units being committed into this one choke point. Whoops. Trying to get a nice overview shot for you guys here. But there is a lot of death here so far. Now, where did the rest of those forces go? I think they are actually moving to flank around. We've got the Witcher of Angmar over here, the Witchers of Angmar, down to 5 men. Wow. So it looks like 3 of them have been killed. And the Knights of Enumenos over here coming in against the Guardians of Cardolan. Oh man, losing quite a bit of their unit there. That is not good. I think the general over here may actually die. Okay, get out of there, get out of there. Oh man, kills that one guy as he passes by. And it looks like he is just going to escape, but I think he is just trying to slow down this unit of Guardians of Cardolan because they didn't have their units over here in time. But we do have some Dunedain Rangers and Arthedain Marksmen that are ready. Arvos Crusader, though, man, I would get your general inside. I'm a little bit nervous about that. But it looks like we do have a small force that's committed over here. Guardians of Cardolan in against the Fornos Eren defenders and the Arthedain pikemen. But they're gonna need a few more units, I think, to break through over here. It does say the balance of forces is evenly matched, but I think that the defenders will win out here eventually. We've got the Witchers of Angmar over here as well. I don't know where that ballista crew went, because that is the general. Not too sure, but let's run over and see how the dwarves are doing, because it looks like the dwarves are focusing most of their efforts over to the side. Okay, so there goes the Gundabad general. Killed by some archers, so that is going to push the balance of power about even, I would say. 41% of the allies have been killed and 67 of the the attackers. Here we go, though. Oh my goodness, I wish I didn't move my camera for that. Yeah, they're going to get some good kills. But yeah, looks like they did set up exactly where I was saying. A little bit forwards, but that's okay. But they've got to be careful because I think the... Wow. Oh my goodness, this catapult over here actually fires 3 volleys. That is overpowered. Oh, this must be something that they need to patch here. So this is actually firing 9 flaming balls of stone into the ranks of the defenders here. That is terrifying. Oh my goodness.
The enemy are badly bloodied. They have lost half
Yeah,
their
that
men.
is evening things up over here for sure. So, looks like in the new update, until that's patched, the catapults have the potential to do a lot of damage. Wow. I would try to move some of these forces out of the way here, but it looks like they do have crossbows firing into the catapult crew, trying to rid it. Oh, man. Just brutal. No mercy over here. Looks like it's finished firing for now, or has the catapult crew been... No, they've still got 18 men, and I think you only need 3 per catapult for it to fire, so... Once they get below 9 men, then they're going to start to lose out on that, but I'm hoping they're still going to fire because they are under missile fire from the sharpshooters over here. But yeah, getting a lot of kills there with the catapult. That is crazy. Over here, though, it looks like the dismounted Knights of Numinos are wrapping up against the... What do we got over here? Witch Realm Blackguard has been sent in. Okay. Looks like the balance of forces is evenly matched, though. But looking over to this side, I doubt that they have broken through. Yeah, it looks like the pikemen actually moving against the Guardians of Cairn Doom, so... looks like the... Oh no, what is this over here? Dunedain Rangers getting hit by what, though? Oh, the Witchers of Angmar, so they kind of act like sorcerers a little bit, I guess. Oh, huge hits. That is insane. Come on, one more volley, quick. Yes, point blank. Wow, that is powerful. And it looks like, actually... The, what are these? The Arthedain marksmen over here actually breaking there. And we've got the Guardians of Cairn Doom broken, unfortunately, due to the dismounted Knights of Numinos fighting them. And the Witchers of Angmar, unfortunately, looks like they are caught in melee at this point. But they got a ton of kill. And here comes this bold General's bodyguard coming in to help his men as well. We've got the Arthedain pikemen over here to surround the Witchers of Angmar. And it looks like the general's going to go after the retreating orcs of Gundabad. So some really cool units over here. Oh, man. So it looks like the catapult has been reactivated. And the balance of power is slipping away from the defenders once again. 71% of them killed to 78% of the attacking forces. And I think this catapult is seriously helping them to turn around the battle over here. Oh, we've got some more Dwarven units engaged in melee over here. What do the Dwarves have left? Looks like they've got some Sons of the Fallen. Khazad-dûm Reclaimers, Legion Bodyguard over here. Is that it? Is that everything that they have? It looks like it is. But over here, I think... Actually, it looks like Arnor is struggling over here against the Gundabad Guard. We've got the Witch Realm Blackguard and the Gundabad Guard in against the Dunedain Peacekeepers. Balance of forces is still evenly matched, it says. And the Arthedain pikemen, though, are wavering. That says defeat is a distinct possibility for them. And what do we got over here? We've got some more Arnorian units broken. So they need to get their units back inside over here. What are they still trying to fight? Guardians of Cairn Doom. So yeah, these units need to get back inside the city because the balance of power is not with them. So they need to play a little bit more defensively, I think, at this point. We've got some more Greenwatch Garrison footmen moving in against the 1st Legion. Dwarves of Khazad-dûm really powering through here. Now, they did have Mithril Guards, so I'm not sure where the Mithril Guard is or if they've already been killed. Or is this them over here? No, that's the Reclaimers. But it looks like there was a bit of a tactical retreat by the 4th Legion. So it looks like Dragon Lord not committing too many of his forces over here just yet. And the catapult looks like is hidden, but they're down to 10 men. So they need to be careful with that catapult crew, lest they start to lose the ability to fire with all 3 of those catapults. I want to see how many of those catapults got as far as kills. I hope we'll be able to see that, but I'd imagine it's hundreds. Yeah, it looks like the pikemen broken over here. And now what are they fighting? Oh, we've got another unit of Arthedain marksmen. with the dismounted Knights of Numenor down to 8 men fighting the Orcs of Gundabad. But they are breaking into the city. But defeat seems certain, actually, for them. Especially since their general is dead. I would expect these guys to be suffering more from morale, but... Okay, it looks like these 2 units did have the idea to come back into the city, but they haven't yet. So yeah, it looks like most of the battle is over there. Oh, it looks like they've got the Greenwatch Garrison Spearmen, and I think this is their general's bodyguard over here. Looks like they do have this unit left. Now, where is the capture point? Is it up there, or does this outpost maybe not have a capture point? I'm not too sure. But, oh, again, with the relentless fire over here. Taking down the marksman once again. Yeah, balance of power now heavily out of their favor. The same ratio of kills on both sides, but I think the caliber of troops left for the Dwarves is just too high. Oh, my goodness. It's just like machine gun fire almost. It loads so fast. So yeah, let me know in the comments, guys, if that is something that they do plan to fix, but I kind of hope so, because otherwise catapults should kind of be banned in multiplayer game, because it's just relentless. Here it comes again. Yeah, just getting evaporated over there. Oh, some friendly fire there, though. Now we're looking on this side over here. All right, it looks like they are able to wrap up the last of the Orcs of Gundabad over here. And I think that may be the Orcs of Gundabad's last units on the battlefield. I think the rest have retreated. So we've got some units way over here. Where is it? Yeah, they're retreating. So I think that is the last of the Orcs of Gundabad that will be eliminated. So it's pretty much down to the Dwarves, but I think the Dwarves just have... They've got some better troops left. A lot of the elite units, like the dismounted Knights of Numenor, are down to 7 men. I can still hear that catapult going on, too. My goodness. Yeah, it's only a matter of time before they break through here. The 4th and 1st Legions. And they've still got their Sons of the Fallen, their Legion Bodyguard, and there's the Mithril Guard. I was wondering where that was. So yeah, 4 very elite units still left here. And it may be that they are out of ammo, finally. Well, it looks like the Legion Bodyguard, so I think this is the General going into melee now. If I'm not mistaken. Unless it's the Mithril Guard. Oh, you know what? It might be the Mithril Guard. Actually, yeah, this is the General here, I think. So this guy's just the... This is just the... I guess, like, the Captain of the Guard, but this would be the General in the Mithril Guard unit. Okay. Makes sense. But yeah, here we go. Looks like the Greenwatch Garrison Spearmen moving into melee now. We've got some dismounted Knights of Numenor coming in, 27. So yeah, it looks like they pulled the Spearmen back from that hilltop there. So this is pretty much where it comes down to, but we're almost finished with the battle, so... I'm imagining that it is a Dwarven victory here, but you never know. Things can be turned around. 91% of the defenders killed, though, to 87% of the attackers. So it is very close. Only 3% difference in the casualties. I think this is the General over here, if I can get a better shot. in the red cape, fighting over here against the dwarf up on this hilltop. That's Celebrimbor's general. And this dwarf is just handing it to him. There we go. We've got some help, though, from behind. There we go. Come on, dude. Get into melee. But yeah, it looks like all of their remaining units are over here. We've got some Arthedain pikemen that are coming over to help as well. But yeah, it's not looking good. I really like the uniforms for these garrison spearmen, though. They look really cool. Granted, they're getting wrecked by the dwarves, but they look cool while they're dying, at least. If I was the dwarves, I would just send in the rest of my infantry now. No need to hold back. They don't have enough men. They can flank around. Coming up on the left-hand side over here. Looks like some Arthedain marksmen have been broken. Greenwatch garrison spearmen down to 30 men. And it looks like the Arnorian general stands alone, surrounded by dwarves. Actually, we've got one banner carrier there, holding the king's banner, fighting alongside the king. And there we go. I can see that the Dwarven units have been activated. We've got the Sons of the Fallen coming around to finish this battle. But it looks like the banner carrier has been slain. Yes, he is surrounded by many. Where is the general over here? Oh.
Our army's running.
Oh, he's been thrown down. The general.
Our general has been
captured. There we go.
We must secure his release by defeating our foe.
Yes, so he was captured, knocked down as his unit.
Lies dead. Without their general, they may lose heart and flee.
Without his unit around, and there we go. The Arnorian general dead as well. So, with 88% killed, the dwarves do take this.
Like thieves in the night.
So well done to the attackers, well done to the defenders. I think, though, if that catapult wasn't present, it would have been a much closer battle. Let's take a look at the battle statistics here. Can I see all of them? No, I can only see his. Darn. Hopefully, the player of the Dwarves, Dragon Lord, if you do ever see this battle, can you just, and you remember, can you comment below how many kills that catapult got? I'd have to imagine it was between 500 and 800 kills, I'm thinking. But looking at Son of Celebrimbor, we can look at his stats. So casualties inflicted here. So 66 by the Dunedain captains, 92 by the Hearthguard of Amansul, 118 by these archers too as well. But that ballista, not getting any kills, that really sucks. I think it was just, he lost 2 of them at the very beginning of the battle, due to the Dwarven cavalry caught it as it was trying to make its way into the city, and then just didn't have a good position for the rest of it. But that is it, guys. So hopefully you did enjoy this Reforged battle, and thanks very much to Celebrimbor for sending it in. Be sure to like, comment, and subscribe if you'd like to see more content like this in the future, and I will see you guys in the next one.